What is going on, world? What's up, YouTube? It's Zero here. Today I'm bringing you guys a brand new episode of the 8 Below Show. Welcome everyone to 8 Below. Thanks for being here, guys, to the best entertainment related show here on YouTube. And I'm super excited about our episode here today. We have a lot of stuff to talk about, so let's get into it. In what is a massive day for Fanatic, one of the biggest esports organizations in the world, they announced, guys, something pretty awesome and pretty huge, not only for their organization, but what could come, and a sign of what could come from other esports organizations moving forward. So let's talk about it. So according to Fanatic's official Twitter account, they went ahead and tweeted out stating, "Today will go down as one of the biggest days in our history. Today we're offering you a chance to own a piece of esports past, present, and future. Join our crowdfund and invest in Fanatic. Shape our future. Today is your chance to truly be #AlwaysFanatic." And they state at the end, capital is at risk. Now, with this, guys, this is absolutely massive. If you go to the link, guys, it gives you an opportunity that you can be the first to invest. You can join our journey and help shape the future of Fanatic. This is a unique opportunity to invest in Fanatic as part of our crowdfunding campaign. A chance to truly be #AlwaysFanatic, and the campaign will be live November 19th. Sign up for early access. This is coming to us from Fanatic's official website. Now, what's interesting, guys, is that they put a lot of different things up on their website, on this page at least, where they talk about esports is the future, showing 2.6 billion worldwide gamers, the hours watched, the global esports audience, Western esports watch hours. The year-over-year growth in hours watched, absolutely huge. And Fanatic has always been one of those teams, guys, one of the biggest esports organizations, as I said, in the entire world. They've already raised $35 million plus from top-tier investors. This is something really big, guys. I mean, it really seems like this is a great opportunity for those of you who are investors, for those of you that are huge fans of Fanatic. This is an opportunity for you to own a piece of that. And so even for myself, guys, I'm very interested in this. I'll get to some of the cons to this, and I will also, obviously talk more about some of the pros as well. They obviously have a lot of really great, partners, guys. AMD is great. OnePlus, Monster Energy, BMW, Hisense, Twitch, and then they've also worked on campaigns with Gucci, Nike, Bud Light, Jack Link's, Champion. Absolutely awesome. And so anyways, guys, I think that this is a huge opportunity for those of you who are interested in being a part of something pretty special, where this is pretty much one of the first, organizations I've seen that you're able to actually directly invest into through crowdfunding. Now, obviously, David Beckham, he actually has, I believe, one of the esport team that he invested in that's up on a stock exchange, I believe over in England or somewhere. And this is the first time, though, I've really seen this, that being Crowdcube, which is a platform which enables businesses to attract investment from professionals and venture capital firms, as well as from everyday investors. It has facilitated crowdfunding raises for Monzo, Revolt, Brewdog, Free Trade, and more, and is currently the world's largest crowdfunding platform. It's also regulated in the UK by the Financial Conduct Authority, so you can invest in confidence. Now, Crowdcube, guys, this is the first time I've really heard about Crowdcube. Now, that being said, there's a couple reasons why I really hadn't heard much about it, but they kind of go through the list of a number of ways in which how you invest and things of that nature. What's interesting is you'll become a shareholder in Fanatic, and this is a question that comes: what do I get if I invest? You'll become a shareholder in Fanatic, a part owner of the company. Fanatic is also offering investors a range of exclusive rewards alongside the equity they receive for their investment. We'll share more details of the rewards available once the funding platform opens. Now, how do you become a Fanatic investor? Well, the most important first step is to sign up, which is free to Crowdcube. As soon as our page is live, you will have exclusive access to invest before we share this opportunity to the rest of the world. You'll officially be a Fanatic shareholder once the round is closed and the cooling off period, which is normally 7 days, is over. If you register your interest now, we'll let you know when the private page goes live. Now, how much can you invest? You can own a piece of the future for less than GBP 20. There is no upper limit on your investment. So, look, pretty awesome that you can get it. I believe GBP 20 is like $26 US currency. Now, the thing about this, guys, is when I went over to Crowdcube, and here's the problem with Crowdcube. If you are a U.S. resident, so for all of you who are watching this, from the U.S., the problem is that we're actually, being a U.S. resident, you aren't allowed to invest on Crowdcube unless you are deemed an investor, but it's more of a pretty high-end investor. It's someone who you have to invest at least 20,000 euro, I believe it is. You have to have a net worth of at least like $1 million. You have to be or you have to make at least like $200,000 to $400,000 per year. So it's a number of different things if you're a U.S. resident, and that's really unfortunate for us, here in the U.S. that would love to, buy into Fanatic, but don't really get a chance to because of the restrictions with US to Crowdcube. But nonetheless, for those of you who are in the UK and elsewhere abroad, this is a great opportunity to get into a very prestigious, esports organization, to say the least. I would say that Fanatic is certainly one of the top esports organizations in the world. I mean, when you compare them, obviously, you kind of put them in the same echelon as like TSM, as Cloud9, Team Liquid. They are up there. And sure, there's other organizations that are starting to come to the fray, like 100 Thieves, and, obviously with Hex getting Optic back, some of those other teams, FaZe, they're all going to be coming into that fray and have been over the years, right? But Fanatic has had a real, winning culture over there and have done a very good job, to say the least. This is interesting. I would love to hear what you guys think about it in the comment section down below. What do you guys think? Are you guys going to try to invest into Fanatic? Are you going to? Let me know in the comment section down below. And what do you think this is going to do for the overall, just from a gaming perspective? What is this going to do, in your opinion? Like, is this going to change the landscape? Will many other teams kind of join this similar style where they're going to start crowdfunding from all their fans and such, which could be something really smart? Obviously, there's pros and cons to anything. One of the big cons is that people in the U.S. can't really invest very easily into Fanatic. But even, U.S.-based teams, like let's just talk about, FaZe or Optic, could they end up doing something like this, where it's readily available for us to invest in those teams over time? I think there's a real possibility to that. Whether we're talking crowdfunding, whether we're talking they go on one of the stock exchanges or something of that nature, that could be really big for esports, because I think that the investment, a lot of these teams, guys, are still really startups. Even though they were started a number of years ago, they still are relatively startups. A lot of them are not profitable yet, and so obviously they need that capital in order for them to continue moving forward and continue building their business. Esports has so much upside, but it's really how you get there. And I think crowdfunding is going to be a big way for Fanatic to try to kind of, get a couple, of levels and get ahead of some of these other teams in a pretty big way. Now, I'm sure other teams are going to be, doing what they've got to do, but I think it's really big for esports. But let me know in the comment section down below, what do you guys think about this news? I think it's big. What do you think? Let me know in the comment section down below. And for more esports content and videos, stay here with Zero TV. Optic is back, and I am so excited to be able to say that, guys. And I've talked about this on the YouTube channel in the past about Optic and how much after the early reports that came out about Hex reacquiring Optic Gaming and the brand as a whole was absolutely huge. I mean, it was such a huge thing. It was like a relief to me because I felt like finally Optic was going back into the right hands, was going back to the origins and things of that nature. Now, Optic Gaming, it's official now, guys. It is back with Hex, Andy Miller, and as far as all of the discussions and everything that they're planning on doing is yet to be revealed, but they put out a video, guys. Together we stand, together we fall, together we are the green wall, and that's absolutely awesome. And in this video, guys, it showed Crossroads to the last goodbye interview, and it talked about Hex and how he was planning on, at some point or another, buying the team back and so on and so forth. And that was a number of months ago. And forward to today, he got Optic back in an official, immediate release, guys, from Optic. Says Hector Rodriguez reacquires Optic Gaming brand from Immortals Gaming Club. Hector Hex Rodriguez announced today that he had reacquired Optic Gaming, which he founded from Immortals Gaming Club. Following IGC's acquisition of Optic Gaming and other assets from Infinite Esports and Entertainment in 2019, Rodriguez left Optic Gaming and joined Energy as co-owner and co-CEO, though he retained a minority interest in Optic Gaming and IGC. After the conclusion of the inaugural season of the Call of Duty League, Rodriguez and IGC reached an agreement whereby Rodriguez reacquired full ownership of Optic Gaming and unwound his outstanding interests with IGC, including minority ownership of IGC's League of Legends team. Optic Gaming has always been a part of me, and I am glad that it has finally returned home to our fans, said Rodriguez. Rodriguez took the reins of Optic Gaming in 2007, 1 year after its creation, and brought the Call of Duty team to the competitive scene beginning in 2010. He sold the majority share of Optic Gaming to Infinite Esports and Entertainment in 2017. IGC, on the heels of a recent capital raise, will continue to operate its team brands, including Immortals and MIBR, as well as Gamers Club, its Brazilian-based matchmaking platform and competitive gaming community hub. So what's interesting is it looks like Hector decided, they went ahead and it sounds like they dropped the League of Legends team that IGC had, or at least, that wasn't really a part of the deal. It sounds like Hector really wanted to have, just ownership of Optic Gaming as a whole. I mean, I think the big thing is, with the Call of Duty League, it sounds like the name of the team now in the Call of Duty League is now the Chicago Optic instead of the Chicago Huntsmen, which is interesting. And honestly, I'm down with it. I really am. I think that Optic is such a well-renowned brand, and you see Atlanta FaZe, you see the LA Thieves now. So why not have the Chicago Optic? It just kind of makes sense. Even though I loved the Huntsman, I think that was a great name. It's unfortunate that it only lasted 1 year until now the name is being changed to the Chicago Optic. But nonetheless, guys, this is so exciting. I mean, this is huge for esports. I mean, it's huge for Call of Duty. That's the main one, right? Call of Duty is just that's the big one. But this is so big because the green wall's back, which is massive. And you've got now all of the biggest brands that were a part of Call of Duty are back being a part of Call of Duty. You got FaZe, you've got, of course, Envy, which now is the Dallas Empire. 100 Thieves, or really Nadeshot, just was a part of Call of Duty for so long. You got the LA Thieves, and now you got Optic back. What was the Huntsman is now Optic, and that is absolutely amazing. It's so huge. A huge congratulations. Big up to Big Optic Hex, man. Huge. It's absolutely huge. I think even for the landscape of gaming, guys, now that Optic's back and they have control of Optic once again, it's so massive. Because really, whatever they want to do now, having Optic, having Energy, I don't know how that's all going to work. What they're planning on doing, are they planning on creating like a conglomerate of different teams, kind of like what Infinite Esports Entertainment was trying to do? I mean, obviously they were buying, they bought Optic, they bought Obey, they bought Team Allegiance, they were buying all these different teams and brands. And so is Optic and Energy, like Hex and Andy, are they thinking about doing this as well, creating like a conglomerate with like Energy, Optic, You know, and the list could go on and on. Who knows? It's going to be very interesting to see how this plays out, guys. I'll be sure to keep you guys all up to speed as more information comes out. But congratulations, guys. All of you who are huge Optic fans. I'm just a massive fan that you know, this brand is back in where it started. That's huge, guys. Massive for Call of Duty. Great day for Call of Duty. Great day for esports. Let me know what you guys think, though, in the comment section down below. And for more esports content and videos, stay here with Zero TV. We've talked a lot about Prototype and this franchise as a whole, guys, which up to this point we've had 2 games in this franchise. And I want to talk with you guys in this segment of the show about Prototype 3, which we've talked about here on the YouTube channel. You guys can check out all of that content. And I want to talk about this, you know, this franchise moving forward, Prototype 3. I mean, I know that we've talked in the past about, you know, the first 2 prototypes and the things that could have gone wrong and the things that went right and you know, what that means now for the future. But I think the question here I want to propose is, will we see Prototype 3 at some point or another in the future? So let's talk about it. So guys, in the past, we've talked about the main things here. You know, the pros and cons. Prototype 1 was absolutely awesome. The second one was certainly a step in the wrong direction. Did not do as well as, you know, obviously what the, you know, the publishers were thinking, and they kind of sounded like, at least, that they did not make what they needed to kind of justify the investment in Prototype 2. So what does that mean now, you know, moving forward? Prototype 3, guys, I certainly believe could be a game that does come out at some point or another. However, the problem is now is where do you go from here? The problem is that Activision as a company, we know that they're expecting, as in any publisher out there, they're expecting to make a specific amount, especially if they're going to invest a decent amount of money. I think the biggest problems with Prototype 2 were that they went away from the main character, that being Alex Mercer in Prototype 1. They went away from him, and in the second game, I just never really felt sure. It felt like a Prototype title, but there was kind of a disconnect. And I remember back, you know, going all the way back, guys, to when Prototype 2 came out, I felt that I didn't really know if I wanted to even buy the game because they went away from Alex Mercer so quickly. And I have no problem with them changing characters. I just don't think they should have done it that soon. I thought they had something there with Alex Mercer, the mystery behind this character and such. And so Activision stating that, you know, they had a substantial investment and that Prototype 2 did not find a broad commercial audience, which is a direct quote from Activision. I mean, that's a big deal, guys. And so where does that leave us here with Prototype 3? I'm sure that Prototype 3 would have happened had there been good reviews as well as, you know, solid sales. They got pretty good reviews for Prototype 2, but the problem really came down to the sales. And so when you have the sales that are weak, Activision is one of those companies that's not just going to sit on an IP like that and continue investing, you know, millions of dollars in order to get it, you know, to where they could take that money and put it somewhere else. So I believe, guys, that Prototype 3 could absolutely happen, but I don't think it will happen under Activision. I believe that there would have to be another developer, another publisher that decides to buy the IP from Activision. If Activision decided to do that, I would be really happy to see someone else get the, you know, the Prototype IP. It's kind of like Dead Space. I would love to see EA sell the Dead Space IP if they're not going to use it. It's just kind of one of those, you know, these are IPs. I believe that there's tons of developers and publishers that would be down to at least kind of breathe new life into these IPs. And Prototype, I believe, is one of those that certainly we could see that. Now, I think the real telling sign here to determine whether a Prototype 3 would happen is if we see like a remaster of Prototype 1 and Prototype 2, like on the next gen consoles like Xbox Series X and PlayStation 5. That could really see, we could see like if Activision decides to make another Prototype based on the sales of, you know, a kind of a 2-pack of Prototype 1 and Prototype 2, and they sell those together as a remaster, I think they would really see what, if there really is still an audience here for Prototype and this IP moving forward. So if we don't get that, though, I just feel like it's going to stay in a limbo state under Activision. I don't believe that they are going to be interested in continuing to move forward with this IP because it's an IP that's been, I mean, you know, that they've held for a while, and they didn't do very good from a commercial perspective with Prototype 2. So it's unlikely under Activision that we will see a Prototype 3, unfortunately, guys. I would love to see it happen. I just don't really see that happening, at least at this point in time, because when I look at the landscape of gaming, look at what Activision's working on, I just don't see it really happening right now. And obviously, developer Radical, they encountered tons of layoffs based upon, based upon this title. I think, like I said, guys, not only did they go away from Alex Mercer way too quickly, but they didn't add anything really to it that created more value where you would spend more time playing the game. Like, for example, having multiplayer co-op modes and things of that nature, having a full package around Prototype. They just failed to evolve this franchise. They failed to evolve it even from game 1 to game 2. And so I just think, guys, that it's really important as from a developer and publisher perspective that you start creating full packages so it justifies a $60 price tag. Or whatever they charge for that next, game. So I really hope, guys, that we get another Prototype title. I'm not expecting it, at least anytime soon. We would absolutely have way more to talk about if Activision decided to sell the IP to another developer or another publisher, or whatever the case might be. But at this point, guys, it's probably in a limbo state. Unless they're working on a remaster of Prototype 1 and Prototype 2 to see how that goes. Kind of like what they did with Spyro. Maybe if they did something kind of like that to see, kind of like test the water, see what people think about it. And if people really, they get a great response, then they could greenlight a Prototype 3. But I'll be sure to give you guys more information as it comes out, guys, about Prototype 3 and the possibility of this game moving forward. What do you guys think? Do you think we'll get a Prototype 3 at some point or another? Let me know in the comment section down below. And for more Prototype 3 content and videos, stay here with Zero TV. I had been really hoping to see a continuation of the Saints Row franchise. I believe that this is a franchise that really has something there that obviously it makes it different from other games kind of in the same genre like Grand Theft Auto and Mafia and other titles. And I've wanted to see a Saints Row 5 happen for a long stretch of time. And in this segment of the show, I want to talk about Saints Row 5 and will we see this title? Because obviously, guys, we got the announcement from THQ Nordic that this game has been in development, but does that mean it's going to happen? Is this definitely something that's going to happen? Obviously, it's being worked on, but it could always be canceled. Something, there could be creative differences. There's so many things that could go wrong. Sure, there could be a lot that goes right as well. So let's break it down and let's talk about it. So guys, obviously, Saints Row, this is a franchise that started back in 2006. It's hard to believe it was all the way back in 2006 when we got the first Saints Row. That was followed by, in 2008, by Saints Row 2, 2011, Saints Row the Third, 2013, Saints Row 4, and then 2015, Saints Row Gat Out of Hell. And what I got to say, guys, is you're getting a Saints Row every 2 years, right? So every 2 years, you're getting a new Saints Row title. And then after 2015, talk about a limbo state where people were wondering if this was a title that was ever going to come out or like continue, or an IP that was going to continue. And Saints Row 5, of course, was announced, guys, that it was being released. In August of 2019, THQ Nordic expressed that in their financial report that Saints Row, a new one, Saints Row title was in development at Volition. And so obviously, that doesn't really tell us much about the game. We have yet to see. This was back in August 2019. They're stating that the title had been in development at Volition. So maybe it was in development for 6 months, a year, maybe even longer than that. So they announced that. And so the question now is, I mean, it's 2020. We're getting close to 2021, guys. And so what I'm getting at here is, when are we going to see this, anything about the Saints Row title that's coming out? Sure, we can have all the, the speculation, the rumblings of the things that might be coming to Saints Row 5, but without seeing a trailer, not even a sneak peek, nothing of that nature, it doesn't really give us much to go on. So will we see Saints Row 5? I do believe it's going to happen, guys. Just the short answer is yes, I believe it's going to happen. Now, Obviously, this has been in development, of course, since August 2019, probably before that, because that was when the financial report came out. So I would assume probably 6 months to a year before that is when they started work on Saints Row 5 from, of course, the development team over at Volition. So obviously, it's been in development. Now, are there problems? Is there something going on? Maybe, but I do believe, guys, that the pandemic going on in our world has really pushed things back in a drastic way. This was August 2019. We are now, over a year later, but I'm sure that, THQ Nordic might have had, they may have, had an idea of what they were going to kind of release maybe here in 2020, like they were going to show some kind of, sneak peek trailer or something of that sort, but decided not to because they're probably delayed now because of the pandemic. And I believe, guys, that we're looking at the movie industry, the video game industry, all of these entertainment industries. A lot of things have been pushed back to the wayside, or not so much the wayside, but have just been, kind of delayed over time. And I'm sure that Saints Row 5 is one of those titles as well. You could even look at titles from like Bethesda with, Starfield, Elder Scrolls 6. All these titles may have been delayed even further because of what's going on in our world right now. So when do I believe we will see some footage, at least, about Saints Row 5? I would say, guys, that since we're very deep into 2020, we'll probably see something probably in the summer of 2021. And the reason why I'm saying that is because THQ Nordic's financial report that they brought out was in August of 2019. So I'm saying that they would probably bring out that financial report somewhere around the same time that they would release a trailer for Saints Row. Now, I might be totally off, but I think that that's kind of the timing lines up there where they could talk about Saints Row 5 and express one of their new, obviously one of their new titles that's going to be coming out. They're going to want to talk about that, and they probably could in, of course, the financial report. So I think that we could probably expect something, June, July, August, or maybe even September of 2021 for at least an announcement. Even though they stated that Saints Row, the title is, in development, we could get the official name, we could get a logo, we could even maybe get a couple of shots. It doesn't have to be anything much, but just showing us that Saints Row 5 is on the way. And when do I believe it could come out? Probably 2022, 2023, depending on where they're at currently. How long it's been in development and such is a big deal as well. I would say we'll probably see it, guys, and get our hands on it 2022, 2023, probably somewhere in there. We probably would have normally have gotten it probably in 2021, late 2021, but obviously with everything going on, I think some of those things have been delayed. But I do think it's coming. Do you think Saints Row 5 is going to come, or do you think that they're having some issues, creative differences? Do you think things are, being delayed significantly? What do you guys think? Let me know in the comment section down below. And for more Saints Row 5 content and videos, stay here with Zero TV. And with that being said, everyone, I hope you guys did enjoy this episode of The 8 Below Show. And if you guys did, leave a thumbs up, subscribe if you're new, stay positive, and as always, I'll talk to you guys all in the next one. Peace.